Hi, everyone. Hope you did okay with that radio buttons assignment. For this assignment, we're going to look at check boxes. We talked a bit about check boxes already, very similar to radio buttons. So we're going to start a new project. This one's going to be a small personality test. Um, so what we're going to do is we're going to make another assignment. I'll call this one check boxes, and we'll save this one. And when I say personality test, we're going to be asking the users a few questions about their favorite color, favorite sport, um, maybe favorite season. And then we're going to, behind the scenes, um, decide on a range or a score. And depending on what the score is, we'll assign a personality to be outputted and tell the user. So let's look at how this should work. So what I'm going to do is we talked about it, but we didn't really do it last time. I'm going to put in three, I'm going to do three questions. And I'm going to put inside each of these group boxes, I'm going to put my question and my answers. So it'll make a little bit more sense in a second here. So we have three group boxes here, and I'm going to ask that you guys maybe make a 4 to 5 question personality test. So each group box will have, um, let's say, 4 answers. So what I will do is we're going to put in 4 check boxes. I mean, you could put radio buttons, I guess, or maybe we should put radio buttons since you don't want to have overlapping um, people checking more than one in each box. So let's go back to radio buttons and get a bit more practice with them. So I'm just going to copy and paste, kind of a lot easier here. And you know what? I'm just going to do, let's see if I can stretch this out just so we can fit it in. Okay, there's 4. Uh, Now, why did I use group boxes? Because if I didn't use group boxes, they'd link all these radio buttons together. And if you link all the radio buttons together, if you click on radio button 1, I wouldn't be able to answer anywhere else in my group boxes. So that's where a group box gets handy. I'll show you what I mean before I code, just once I get these in here. Okay, there we go. So I've got 4 answers in each. So what I mean by that is a group box. I'm going to have 3 questions, and notice how now each group box I can have my own answer. If I didn't do a group box and I clicked on radio button 1, it wouldn't let me click on any other answers. So the group boxes allow you to group the radio buttons together, and it does come in handy for an assignment like this. So I haven't coded anything, so we'll do that now. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to look at my properties window and change the text for that. And I'll use that as my question. So view properties. For some reason I get a huge properties window, but my text, instead of this saying group box 1, I want it to be the question. So what I'll do is I'll say, what is your favorite color? Okay, so that'll be question 1. You notice how it changes up top here. Now it says, what is your favorite color? Group box 2, let's ask what your favorite sport is. And you can ask anything you like. You can ask if you want to do it related to music, TV shows, anything you find relevant. So let's do, for this one, let's do favorite season. So that's kind of a fall, winter, spring, and summer. Got some, there we go. Right, so I've got 3 questions, 4 possible answers in each. So how do you do it where you can get a personality test? And this is just keeping in mind that the users don't see what happens behind the scenes in the code. So I want you to keep in mind each question has 4 possible answers. So I'm going to explain how it's going to look behind my code. If they pick the first answer, in each question, I'm going to give them a score of 1. So the lowest score you can get in my personality test is 3. You can get a 1 and get a score of 1 if you answer radio button 5, and get a score of 1 if you answer the first answer in this one, radio button 9. The highest you can get, I guess, would be 12. You can get a 4 if you pick radio button 4. You can get another 4 if you pick the last answer in this box, and you can get another 4 if you pick this box. The lowest you can get is 3, highest you can get is 12. What I'm going to do then is make sure you get those values, and then in the end, I'll spit out a personality depending on what their score is or what their range is. So let's take a look at how that might work. I will probably put a label here, and the label is going to give the personality at the end. And I need a button, and the button's going to allow them to submit their entries and get a score. So let's double click on the button, and let's look at some code. Okay, so the button's going to ask in the end what we want to happen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say if radio button 1 got checked equals true, then score, score, which I have to declare. That's a variable. We talked about these names that we're going to use in the program, because the computer's going to think that's an error unless I declare it or dim it, and I will do that in a sec. Score equals score plus 1. If they answer the first answer, it's going to be score equals score plus 1. You're going to notice that this is underlined. It's saying, hey, hold on a second. What's score? We don't recognize that. And that makes me have to go up to the top here. And we're going to declare that and tell the computer, don't worry. Score is okay. It's a legit word. We're using it. I'm well aware of it. And it's going to store numbers. So we're going to save it as an integer. So what we've done now is we said if they pick radio button 1, then score equals score plus 1. And I can do that all the way throughout, I guess, if you want to do that. All right, so we're going to do a running total here. What if they pick on radio button 2? Then score equals score plus 2. What if it's 3? Then score equals score plus 3. But we have 12 radio buttons. It's a little bit long way to do it, but kind of while we're at it, we might as well just do it this way. Here's 4. Now you get to radio button 5. Don't forget, radio button 5 is the first answer in the second question. So we're only going to give it a value of 1. So if I go back here, this is radio button 5. We said if they answer the first answer, you get 1 added to your score. If you answer the second one, you get 2 added to your score, and the third is 3, and the fourth is 4. So we'll just go back to this button code. Okay, so now we're kind of getting into a lot of repetition here, and I'm going to use the magic feature of copy and pasting, and I'll even space this out just to make it easier for us to see how this is going to look. Oh, now that's 6. This is also 7, 8. Okay, and then I've got my last question with the possible answers. We got a lot of if, then, and else. So there's 9, 10. So this is all in question 3. 11, 12. Okay, so we don't even know what the answers are. So I should probably put some answers in there. We have dim score as integer. So what's going to happen if you look at the code? Here's the first question. If they pick the first answer and they get a value of 1, so score right now is 0. I should probably write that on the form load. So when we load the form up, score is set at 0. So 0 equals 0 plus 1, so now score is 1. Then it takes the computer will go through like a robot does. It'll go to the second question. What if I answered this one and I got a value of 2? It would add the previous value, so 1 from the original question. So score equals score plus 1. So the 1 equals the 1 plus the 2, then we get a 3. Then it goes down to the next question. So it gives you that cumulative score at the end. So again, the highest we can get as a result on this test is 12. The lowest is 3. So I'm going to quickly go in here. I'm going to put some answers in. So let me go to the properties and go to the text. So I'm just going to put in some random ones in here. So we're going to go red. Going to go yellow. You guys can put in whatever you want. Blue. Green. As far as sports, hockey. Gotta go with football. Go soccer. And let's be a little different and we'll throw in esports. Okay, and then our favorite season. I mean, I think you guys get the idea. We just fill in your answers here. And summer. Okay, so we got our answers. One thing I want to do is when this form loads, we want to set score equal to 0. So that happens once when the form loads. So score equal 0. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this code up here, and I'm going to start looking at my ranges. So now my score can be anywhere from 3 to 12. So this is where I'm going to have some statements. So if score greater or equal to 3 and score, Visual Basic's very picky. You have to write the word score again. Let's say less than equal to 6. So anywhere from 3, 4, 5, and 6, then label one dot text. My label will say as a personality, you are strange. Okay, now what if I copy and paste that code and we're from 7 to 10. You are, I don't know, maybe instead of strange, we'll say average. And then what if we are 11 or 12? So you're pretty much answering the last question in each one. You are, let's see here, exceptional. We have 3 possible personalities in this. Let's take a look and see, and hopefully, fingers crossed, everything works. So we push play. We'll allow to play this while the code's here. So let's see how it looks here. So we have, I'm going to check off red. That's a value of 1. Hockey's another value of 1, so my score is at 2. And let's say I add winter, so I have a total of 4 here. So that should give me my score falling in this range. It should be falling into 3 to 6. So if I hit the button, it says you are strange. So that's good. Everything matches up. Let's take a look at, if I hit this again, is it going to, yeah, see, it's just adding the basic scores. Don't worry about that. We'll start it and play it again. Okay, so what happens if I answer green, esports, and summer? That's going to give me a value of 12, a score of 12. So it should say you are exceptional. I hit it, it says you are exceptional. So far, so good. And then let's just test the middle range. The reason I keep starting and stopping it and starting it is because I don't have a clear button. I haven't cleared the score. I mean, I can. It's not too hard, but this is for our sake, just getting the basics in. So let's try to get something in that 7 range. So this is 3. This is 3, and this is 1, so that should give us a 7, should give us UR average, and we have UR average. So that is pretty much what I'd like you to do. If you could add more than 3 questions, that would be great. But give a personality test, have some fun with it, see if you can get yours to work and play around with the ranges and just get more comfortable with radio buttons. That's about it for now. Have a great one, and we'll talk soon, everybody. Goodbye.